So good morning chess friends, I am back again with another video, and this time instead of continuing with my Mura series, I am going to show you something else, and that is related to some chess tactics. So today what we are going to see is called Windmill in chess, and on one of my friends request, who is an intermediate level player and want to learn more about the game, so on his request I am making this video about the windmill ideas in chess. And it is a kind of motive that usually occurs many time in your regular chess games. So you can, if you know this tactic very well, you can use it against your opponent in your game. So what exactly is a windmill? So it is an idea or motif in chess that can occur time to time in different possible combinations, usually with bishop and rook, but sometimes with knight and bishop, or queen and rook, and some other ideas also works well. So let's have a look at the first example. We are going to see some examples that I created and just for this lecture, and modified some old examples for detailed analysis. And we also are going to see some real game examples. So in this position it is now black to move, and white king in this position right now doesn't have any legal square. So even if it is white's move, white cannot move his king to any place. So in this position, if black has to move, black can win lot of material using this windmill tactic. So here bishop on e4 square is eyeing black king. So once the rook moves, it is a check. So rook really can go anywhere and without worrying about being captured. So the next move in the example is rook takes a2, and this is a discovered check to white king. Bishop on e4. So now white king has only one legal square, and white cannot capture the rook on a2 because white king is under the check. So first he has to move out of the check. So king has only one legal square, that is g1. So king moves to g1. Now we can again use our rook to deliver check, and now again white king has only one legal square to go, that is h1. So what happened at in this last one move, that pawn on a2 disappeared, but we reach the same position again. So and this rotates until it can rotate infinitely if black wants draw, but here black can win much more material using this same tactic. So next move is rook to b2, again bishop delivering check, king goes back to a1, only legal square, and rook captures. Here rook can capture on b3 bishop, and now here black white can give a check to black king, but this is winning position. We can see black has two extra pawns and a bishop, so this is easily winning for black. But here there is another exercise for slightly advanced players. So let's go to the first position. Here there is another line that is better than rook takes e2, that is rook to e2 check, and here we have a forced mate in 5 moves. So you also can use this same tactic to checkmate your opponent, not only winning material, but sometimes you can use this to checkmate your opponent also. Here king has only one legal square, that is g1. Now h3. So now what is threatened is simple thing, h2 checkmate. So how to stop that? White king cannot go to h1 square because bishop is there. So a token move can be made if you it actually is resignable situation, but if you want to continue, you can make a move like rook to f3, blockading the bishop, eyeing h1 square, only square for available for black king. But now black king has two available square as rook just vacated f1 also. So when bishop takes f3, black king has only one legal square. So if white king moves white moves something like a3, makes a move something like a3, then h2 check, this is forced, and now you can either promote to queen or rook, and this is a checkmate. So you can use windmill to win material, and sometimes you even can checkmate your opponent if position is good. In the second video we are going to have a look at this complicated position. Here material is equal and it is white to move. So here in this position, if you want to pause the video, you can pause it for 10-20 seconds and you may check what to do for white. And here what is going to happen is a windmill scenario with bishop on b2 and knight delivering checks on f6 square. So what is the best move in this position is queen takes d7. Now here if queen takes e4, then this is winning for white easily, as white is going to be a piece up. So practical solution is queen takes d7 and here knight f6. So now black king has only one legal square, that is king h8, and when king is on h8, knight can capture either rook or queen, and bishop on b2 is going to deliver a check on the long diagonal. This is a discovered check by bishop, and there is no way black can stop this check but to move the king. So king moves to g8, again the same check. Now again black king has only one legal square, that is h8. Knight takes d7, so queen is gone. King back to g8, again knight delivers the check, again only one legal square. Now king can go to h7, but here also after the check king has to move back to h8, another pawn gone, same check, king moves back to h8, knight goes to d7, again check. Only legal move that may defend the rook is king g8, and after this white is clearly better because white has two extra rooks. So the whole idea of this windmill started with queen takes d7, because here if knight moves to f6 square delivering a check directly, then black knight can capture white knight on f6, and then position is almost equal. But this queen takes d7 forces the following line. that perfectly demonstrates the power of Windmill. You can see all these moves are forced. Black king has no other option. And in third game, we are going to see a game between Cooperfresh and Anderson, and it was played in 1953 in Denmark. So let's check out that game. In this game, this actually is a long game with wild tactical sequence, so I'm not going to go through all the opening theory, but we are just going to have a look at the windmill scenario here. So I'm just zipping through the moves. And bishop takes on g2, rook takes, bishop takes, and here white uses his rook his bishop and knight for the windmill. So this is the beginning of the knight goes to c8 square, bishop back to c6, check, pawn captured, check, rook captured, rook is gone. And here in this position, actually black resigned because there is no way black can stop white king to explore the queen side and shepherd one of the a or b pawn to queen. And here black king is actually stalemated because there is no legal move, and because of that black rook is also trapped, and there is no way black can force white king to stop from exploring the queen side. And here there is no stalemates because black can first sacrifice e and g pawns, and then black has a light square bishop to make legal moves. So here this is an easy win for white. So in this position black actually resigned, Anderson resigned. Another example is Torre versus Emmanuel Lasker. Carlos Torre, famous Torre attack is named after him. So this game is quite old. This was played in 1925 in Moscow. Torre playing white, Lasker black. Quiet opening, not much action. Maneuvering pieces, and here black king is slightly in trouble because f7 and h7 both pawns are attacked. So taking the knight is only good move here. Now what black did is black pinned the white bishop on g5 square. So if the bishop moves, then queen falls. First white played the b4 move to kick the queen away. Black preferred to keep queen on 5th rank, so Lasker moved his queen to f5 square, rook to g3, now indirectly eyeing g7 pawn, and here bishop is attacked. Here bishop cannot be captured, and that is because of rook will recapture, and black queen has no good place to go. So queen move back, knight on e3 attacking queen, queen again move, and an amazing move bishop f6 was played here. Black can capture the white queen, but then black falls for the windmill, and black cannot prevent it. If black plays something else, then windmill actually will happen in any case. So Lasker captured queen, rook takes g7, and black king has only one legal square, that is h8. After that, rook captures f7 pawn, and you can see black is losing material with force moves. And here in this position, the rook g5 was played to capture the queen, but if here rook captures a7 pawn, then it is not a good move, because you can still continue with the windmill, but then the a file will be open for the black rooks, and a2 pawn is eventually going to fall, so there is no point in taking a7 pawn and activating black rooks. So and in the final position, now white is 3 pawn up, and this is easily winning position. So after few moves, Lasker resigned in this position because it is eventually a checkmate that he cannot avoid, and all this happened because of the bishop f6 move. In this position, here Tore moved bishop to f6, hanging his queen. Then Lasker has to capture, there is no other option, and the windmill happened, as you can see. And all these were force moves, so you can use this tactic in your games if you find any position that has this kind of motif that you can use successfully against your opponent. And in the final game, fifth game, we are going to have a look at a very famous game that is by Robert James Fisher, Bobby Fischer, and this is quite an old game, and this game was played in 1956 in New York in third Rosenwald Trophy, and this game is dubbed as game of the century by many chess historians and experts. And Bobby Fischer played with black pieces against Donald Bryan, international master. So let's flip the board. We are going to zip through the opening moves, because again we just want to have a look at the windmill. So here in this position, actually Fischer was planning to sacrifice his queen to achieve a windmill. So he played rook to e8, check first, king moved to f1, getting out of check. No other move is better than what was played in this position. King to f1 is probably the best move. Bishop back, and queen is now offered to achieve a windmill with the help of bishop and knight. So Donald Bryan has nothing better but to capture queen on b6. So queen was captured, and here bishop takes c4 check. Now black king has only one legal square, and now the windmill started with the black knight jumping into e2 square with a check. Now a pawn captured, king again has only one legal square, again using the same tactic. Now white king has to move back to, and here rook can be captured, but this in between move played by Fischer is also good, as the rook on a8 is now attacking the white queen, and black knight on c3 is protected by bishop on g7. So queen cannot capture black knight, so queen has to move to some other place. And finally knight is captured. So here, using the windmill, Bobby Fischer won lot of material, and eventually this game was so famous afterwards, and it was dubbed as game of the century by Chess Review in US Chess Review by in 1956 or 57 issue by some chess journalist. So after that, this game become part of the history, chess history. So that's all about the windmills, and you can check more links and examples on my blog. Bye for now, and good luck with your chess. See you around.